In this introduction, I would like to focus on few points that I believe are important. Land policy in India is a complex and multifaceted area, influenced by historical factors, constitutional provisions, and evolving social economic needs. In the historical context, land reforms in India have roots in the post-independence era, with an aim and efforts to dismantle feudal setup like the zamindari system. The goal was to redistribute land, improve agricultural productivity, and promote social equity. Indian constitution recognizes land as a state subject, meaning that state governments have significant authority in enacting and implementing land related laws. Key policy areas are tenancy reforms, sealing on land holdings, protecting the rights of the landholders, land acquisition for public purposes, regulating land use to promote substantial development, considering factors like environmental protection, urban planning, and agricultural needs. If we revisit policy framework, considering the existing conditions at the field, we find that the Indian land policy has grappled with complex duality of treating land as a private property that's as well as a source of livelihood. I should say private property get more attention than land as a source of livelihood. At the field level, implementation of land reforms has been uneven. At the field level, implementation of land reforms has been uneven across states. Balancing development needs with the rights of landholders remains a challenge. Climate change and changing land use patterns are creating new dimensions to agriculture and lifestyle today. Land reforms have wide ranging impact that can be studied across various fields. The key areas are their economic impacts on agriculture, namely productivity, the extent of land cultivated, that is net sown area, and poverty reduction. As far as the agriculture productivity is concerned, being a progressive state among many other Indian states, the extent of fallow or arable land in Tamil Nadu as on 2022-23 is 47 lakh 63,560 acres. That is 14.62% of total cultivable land. As per the statistic issued by the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. Fallow lands, though come under the classification of cultivable agricultural land, as on 2022-23, the fallow land in Tamil Nadu is 47,63,560 acres. That works out 14.62% of total cultivable land. These data had been collected from the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. Fallow lands, though come under the classification of cultivable agricultural land, when they are not cultivated for 5 consecutive years, they are called fallow lands. Tamil Nadu is as high as Jharkhand. That is, Jharkhand is 15.05%, hardly any difference between 15% and 14.62%. In keeping the lands fallow and ranks number 2 against the all India average of 3.63%. Considering the impending benefits like replenishing soil nutrients and saving groundwater resources, land can be kept fallow for short periods. But prolonged fallowing can lead to spread of invasive weeds and pose a challenge to bring the land back to agriculture. It not only affects the landholders and also surrounding areas which come under cultivation. It is too expensive to keep cultivable land fallow when so many are landless. Regarding the impact of crop yields and overall agricultural gross added value, as per the agriculture statistics at a glance 2022 issued by the ministry, the aggregate of agriculture and allied sectors at current prices, Tamil Nadu fares poorer than Andhra Pradesh. I am comparing because the Economic Survey of Tamil Nadu has compared itself with several other states. So it is my turn to compare with the states which are doing better than us. Andhra Pradesh was 2.5 lakh crores and the gross value added of Tamil Nadu was only 2.02 crores. Tamil Nadu's total cultivable area is 1 crore 30 lakhs 33,000 hectares and the net sown area was only 37.12%. AP total area is lower than us, that is 1 crore 26 lakhs 31,000 hectares and the net sown area also lower than us, like 35.13%, but yet their gross added value is more than us. So sometimes it's very difficult to compare the states because there are a lot of variables between state to state. So it is better not to compare, but I compared this showing that Tamil Nadu does the same in their economic survey. In 2022-23, as per the economic survey of Tamil Nadu issued by Planning Commission, the gross state value added in agriculture is 13%, whereas in the service sector it is 53.63%, and in the manufacturing sector it is 33.37%. The data is claimed as a sign of development by the Tamil Nadu government. But low GVA, that is gross value added in agriculture, can be a symptom of underlying problems such as inequitable land distribution, where the landlords as well as the landless laborers lack initiatives to invest in agriculture. The landowners, because their livelihoods are not solely dependent on agriculture, and the laborers because of the wages which are below the value of their manual labor. It's also a sign of underutilization of land and reduction in the net sown area. Then comes poverty reduction. How land reforms have impacted poverty reduction. Empowering landless communities with the land has direct impact on food insecurity or security, and the level of poverty according to National Multidimensional Poverty Index 2023, the headcount ratio decreased from 4.76% to 2.20%, which is considered as a good sign. However, the data on public distribution system reflects the level of poverty differently. In Tamil Nadu, the number of AAY cards, that is Antyodaya Anna Yojana card holders, the number is 18 lakhs 3,536. It works 9% of the total population. It's not the card population, total population. And PHHS card, that is priority household card holders who receive 8 kg rice from government. They are 95 lakhs 57,198 cards. The population amounts to 12.3%. And with the average family size, now the family size is also reduced to 3.9 in Tamil Nadu. So nearly 21.3% of Tamil Nadu population are living in the threshold of poverty. Another important supporting data is the number of beneficiaries under Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. There are about, in a year, 81 lakh people, including differently able people, are covered under this program. Without PDS and Mahatma Gandhi Guarantee for Rural Employment Scheme, the number of people living below poverty line would further go up. The direct impact of land reforms, I'm trying to impress upon you that the impact of the land reforms on poverty level has not been analyzed solely based on poverty ratio. It depends on distribution of PDS, food through PDS, as well as Mahatma Gandhi Rural Employment Scheme. There are some, now here the question comes, is it good to distribute food or is it good to distribute land? Which is cost effective? Of course, distribution of land is cost effective. There are now few of us in the administrative service have worked as sub-collectors, additional collectors and collectors. We have some positive experiences of assigning government land to the needy poor and or implemented the Tenancy Reforms Act sincerely true to its spirit. I expect the chief guest, because while I was informally talking to him, he said, Mr. Chandru, he said he would discuss the tenancy reforms in his speech. But let us hear the research team from the Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration, which is our alma mater. They say about land reforms in Tamil Nadu under the title Land Reforms An Incomplete Task. This report was published in 2003. Reasons for failure in implementing land reforms, they say lands have been sold in advance prior to, because expecting land reforms to take place. And exemptions in the provisions of this Act 37A and 37B of Land Ceiling Act help them to evade. And the appeal process is very difficult, and the attitude of the courts are not favorable to the landless. Lack of adequate and information on land holdings. First of all, it's very difficult to get information from the revenue authorities. Corruption and poor administration. That's the reasons adduced by the National Academy of Administration. They have also observed about temple lands. When it comes to temple lands in Tamil Nadu, 650,000 acres are temple lands. But the Public Trust Act permits only 20 standard acres. And 952 temples come under HRNCE, 1,568 temples fall outside the purview of HRNCE. Totally 10,520 temples are landed temples. As per the report 1987, this is with the HRNCE and small temples, but there is another report. The reports are always conflicting with each other, but I quote this report. It says landed temples are about 35,000 in Tamil Nadu. In Tanjavur, the Kaveri belt, 1/3 of the land vested with the temple. Only 50% are distributed to, out of which only 50% are distributed to the marginal holders. The difficulty in, what is the difficulty with the temple lands? Because the farmers are, the lands are leased to the farmers. When the farmers approach the bank need documents to be signed by the owners. So the temple authorities are not willing to sign the documents. Therefore, they are not able to get any loan for development of that particular land they are holding. Till date, Tamil Nadu government has not come out with the complete details of temple land. So therefore, some crucial questions I have at hand that I would like to pose to all of you. Whether Tamil Nadu government's claim that 2.20% of population live below poverty line, or 21.3% as per the both ration card holders receiving 20 kg free rice, 8 kg free rice per month. And should we also add the workers under 100 days employment guarantee scheme. For applying intensive cultivation methods and techniques, and for organic farming, a small holding is considered enough and viable. By distributing land, the phenomenal allotment of tax money to PDS every year and Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Program could be kept to the minimum. I'm not saying that it should be completely done away with, but it should be kept to the minimum, and the rest would be allocated to support the active small farmers whose livelihood is completely dependent on agriculture. By transferring land to the landless tillers, they will be enabled to participate in all economic activities and benefit from the government schemes. For example, if you have land, you benefit under the irrigation scheme, you benefit under the bank loan, and also you receive mini kits and seeds. When the famine affects the state, you also get some compensation. But as landless laborers, though they are working in land, they are kept away from this economic activity completely. Under the circumstances, will the government, whether they would like to revisit the land policy? That is the primary question. Secondly, in the rural area, the labor participation of women is 44% in agriculture. Distribution of land to women will not only empower them in all respects, but also increase productivity. Will the Tamil Nadu government pioneer in assigning 20 to 100 acres of fallow land to landless self-help women groups, leave alone the individuals to start with. Third, land as a source of livelihood not only empowers landless agricultural laborers but also protect the flora and fauna of the state. Primarily, a discussion in the parliament as well as in the state assembly to decide the ideal size of holding with an intention to distribute land to all the landless laborers is needed. The land ceiling limit could be further reduced as many rural households have moved out of agriculture or their primary income does not come from agriculture. When the land ceiling was fixed, the family size was 5 per family, but now it is 3.9. So it is high time that the ceiling limit is reduced. Will the state government come forward to reduce the ceiling limit further to empower women and the landless laborers? 4. Following the examples of Karnataka and Telangana, will the Tamil Nadu government enact a law against alienation of land by Dalits and retrieve the Panchami land? Number 5. Will the state government implement the 5th schedule of the constitution in tribal pockets to protect the land rights of the tribal population? Are they ready to create tribal district or districts combining the tribal areas in different districts for the implementation of the 5th schedule and to receive more funds under ITDP, that is Integral Rural Development Program, which is given to a district where the tribal population is concentrated. Government implement the coastal regulation rules against the large-scale construction along the coast, keeping in view the sensitivity of the coastal area to climate change and natural calamities. Number 7. Will the state government amend the land ceiling acts both urban and rural regarding exemptions given to industries and non-governmental institutions under the acts, basically to avoid misuse and to accommodate the houseless poor, keeping in view the increasing urban population? I think they have revisited in 2012 the Tamil Nadu government, but yet there is no change in their distribution. Number 8. Wherever land is scarce, will the state and center government together pioneer aquaponics farming? Aquaponics presents a fascinating blend of agriculture and hydroponics plants, creating a symbiotic ecosystem known for its sustainable and year-round food production, efficient nutrient cycling, and water conservation. Number 9. Since the rural households migrate to urban areas because of landlessness, there has been increasing pressure on land in the urban areas, and hence, apart from other measures earlier mentioned, that is all the 8 measures, will the government come forward to adopt Lofty method? Lofty is an organization introduced by Mrs. Krishnamal Jagannathan and who bought about 1,000 acres on her own initiative and distributed to landless poor. So for Dalits, there is a fund, special component plan. Why doesn't the government think about spending some money from sub-plan every year to enable buying land and distributing? There are 2 more questions. Number 10. Will the TN government, under the Public Trust Act, restrict the holding of temple land to 20 standard acres or do away with it totally? In 2021, the Tamil Nadu government said the land grabbing in temple lands is not, it's considered as a cognizable, non-bailable offense. But if they reduce the limit, then there is a meaning to it, of course. And I wonder because it's like a parallel authority. The temple authority is a parallel authority to revenue department. Revenue department naturally administers all the revenue issues, land management, land administration. Why should there be a parallel activity with the land? If the government wants, they can always allocate more for maintenance of funds, maintenance of the temple and other activities, the temple. Why the land should be given to them? I met Dharmapuram Adhinam some years ago with regard to land. He said there are about 60 crores pending from the leaseholders because the land are leased out to small farmers. They are not paying the lease and he has no mechanism to collect it. So literally people are enjoying the land without paying any tax to the So it is better, it is brought under the purview of the revenue administration. Last question. This is against land grabbing. I read an article in New India Express in 2004, sometime in January. Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat have enacted Land Grabbing Prohibition Act in 2011 itself. But instead of enacting a law, Tamil Nadu government had introduced 30 anti-land grabbing cells under the GO 423. Under this, some cases went to the court. The Supreme Court directed the Tamil Nadu government, why don't you enact a law instead of passing a GO which are not considered valid in the court of law? So now our question is, will the TN government enact a law against land grabbing and make it a cognizable, non-bailable offense as far as Dalit lands are concerned? With these remarks, I thank everyone for your patient hearing. Though it is a welcome address, it is my duty also to introduce the subject. So I ask Kulna to proceed further. Thank you very much.
பல கேள்விகளை இன்னைக்கு அவங்க முன் வச்சிருக்காங்க. முக்கியமான கேள்விகளை நிலம் என்பது சுற்றி இன்னைக்கு நடக்கக்கூடிய அரசியல் தளங்களில் பேசப்படாத, நிர்வாக தளங்களிலும் பேசப்படாத முக்கியமான பிரச்சனைகளை அவர்கள் முன்வைத்திருக்கிறார்கள். உணவு பாதுகாப்புன்னு சொல்றீங்க, வறுமை 2% தான் சொல்றீங்க. ஆனா ரேஷன் கார்டு ஹோல்டர்ஸ் ஃப்ரீ ரைஸ் 29% இருக்காங்க. அவங்களை எந்த கணக்குல எடுக்கிறது? நிலம் ஃபாலோ லேண்டா இத்தனை லட்சம் ஏக்கர்ஸ் இருக்கு, கல்டிவேட் பண்ணாம 5 வருஷம் கல்டிவேட் பண்ணாம விட்டா அதனுடைய திருப்பி மீட் எடுக்கணும்னா எவ்வளவு கஷ்டம் அந்த லேண்டு. அதை அப்படியே விட்டு அதை சுற்றி இருக்க நிலங்கள்லாம் எவ்வளவு பாதிப்பு உண்டாக்குது. அப்போ விவசாயம் என்பது ஒரு முதன்மை துறையாக இருந்தோம், நமக்கு உணவு பாதுகாப்புக்கான முக்கியமான ஒரு நிலம் என்பது இருந்தாலும் அதை இன்னைக்கு ஒன்றும் இல்லாமல் கரெக்டு காடாக ஆக்கி அதை ஏதோ ஒரு பண லாபத்துக்காக மாற்றக்கூடிய அரசியல், அது என்ன அப்படின்னு கேள்வி கேட்குறாங்க. நிலச்சீர்திருத்தம் ஒரு ஃபெயிலியர் அப்படிங்கிறது பல ஆய்வுகள் சொல்லியிருக்கு. அப்போது தமிழ்நாட்டில் நிலச்சீர்திருத்தம் பற்றி இன்னும் நம்ம கேள்வி எழுப்ப முடியுமா? என்ன நிலச்சீர்திருத்தம் நம்ம பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கிறோம்? யார் கையில் நிலங்கள் இருக்கு? கோயில் நிலங்கள் இன்னைக்கும் கோயில் நிர்வாகங்கள் ஏன் நிர்வகிக்கணும்? அது இந்து அறநிலையத்துறைன்னு சொல்லிட்டு அரசு சொத்தாக மாறின பிறகு அவர்கள் பூஜை புனஸ்காரத்தோடு நிறுத்திக்காம ஏன் அவர்கள் நில நிர்வாகத்துக்குள்ள இருக்கணும்? அப்போ அங்க இருக்கக்கூடிய நிலமற்ற உழைக்கும் மக்களுக்கு நிலம் என்பது வாழ்வாதாரம். அந்த நிலத்தை விட்டு அவங்க துரத்தப்படுகிறார்கள் ஒவ்வொரு நாளும். அந்த மக்களுக்கான நில உரிமை எங்க அப்படின்ற கேள்வி கேட்குறாங்க. ரொம்ப ஆழமான கேள்விகள். கடலோர பகுதிகளில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா பெரிய பெரிய தொழிற்சாலை திட்டங்களை கொண்டு வர்றாங்க. அந்த தொழிற்சாலை திட்டங்கள் நில அபகரிப்பு பண்ணுறாங்க. அதுக்கு அரசாங்கம் என்ன பதில் சொல்கிறாங்க? அதுக்கு சப்போர்ட் ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் தான் இருக்குதே தவிர மக்களுக்கான சப்போர்ட் ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் இன்னைக்கு நிலம்ங்கிற விஷயத்தில் இல்லை. அதை பற்றி நான் கேள்விகள் கேட்குறாங்க. நில அபகரிப்பு பற்றி ஒரு ஜீவோ போட்டிருக்கீங்க, அதை ஏன் சட்டமாக்கக்கூடாதுன்னு கோர்ட்டில் ஜட்ஜஸ் கேட்ட பிறகும் அதை ஒரு ஜீவோவாக வச்சு அட்மினிஸ்ட்ரேட்டிவ் லெவல்லையே ஹேண்டில் பண்ணுறீங்க. அது எப்படி நில அபகரிப்பு நிலம் என்பது மக்களுக்கான வாழ்வாதாரம் என்ற நிலையை நோக்கி போகணும். நிலமற்ற பெண்களுக்கு நிலம் வழங்கப்பட வேண்டும். குழுக்களாக இருக்கக்கூடிய பெண்களுக்கு நிலம் வழங்கப்பட வேண்டும். அதே மாதிரி முக்கியமாக ஆதிவாசி மக்களுடைய 5th ஷெட்யூல், கான்ஸ்டியூஷன் 5th ஷெட்யூல் கீழே தமிழ்நாடு இல்லைனாலும் ஆனால் இங்கே செய்ய முடியும். இங்கே காடுகள் பாதுகாக்கப்பட வேண்டும், சுற்றுச்சூழல் பாதுகாக்கப்பட வேண்டும். அப்படின்னா மக்கள் கையில் நிலங்கள் இருக்க வேண்டும். ஆர்கானிக் ஃபார்மிங், அதுக்கப்புறம் லேண்ட் அசைன்மெண்ட் பற்றி நிறைய விஷயங்கள் அவங்க சொன்னாங்க. நிலம் ஒப்படை செய்வது பற்றி. அதில் நீங்கள் ஒரு குறிப்பிட்ட அளவு நிலம் இருந்தாலே ஒரு இயற்கை விவசாயம் செய்து சுயமாக அவருடைய உணவு பாதுகாப்புக்கு வாழ முடியும். ஆனால் இங்கே இருக்கக்கூடிய லேண்ட் அசைன்மெண்ட் பாலிசி என்னவா இருக்கு அப்படின்னு ஒரு கேள்விக்கு உட்படுத்துறாங்க. ஒட்டுமொத்தத்தில் மக்களுக்கான ஒரு நிலக்கொள்கை ஒன்று உருவாகணும். அது வாழ்வாதாரத்தை, நிலம் என்பது வாழ்வாதாரம், அது ஒரு ப்ராப்பர்ட்டி இல்லை, அது ஒரு பொருள் இல்லை, அதை எந்த நேரமும் எதுக்குன்னா பயன்படுத்தி தூக்கி போடுற அளவுக்கு பொருள். அது மக்களோட இயற்கையோடு இணைந்து இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு வாழ்வுக்கான ஆதாரம். இதை இன்னைக்கு நம்ம கேள்விக்கு உட்படுத்த வேண்டிய கட்டாயத்தில் தமிழ்நாடு இருக்கும். நம்ம மற்ற மாநிலங்களை ஒப்பிட வேண்டாம், ஆனால் ஒப்பிட வேண்டிய சூழல் இருக்குது. ஏன்னா தமிழ்நாடு இன்னைக்கு அக்ரிகல்ச்சரில், முக்கியமாக ஆர்கானிக் லைஃப்பில் ரொம்ப பின்தங்கி போயிட்டே இருக்குது. கமர்ஷியலைசேஷன் எதையத்தையும் வியாபாரமயமாக்கக்கூடியது, அதை பெரிய பெரிய இண்டஸ்ட்ரீஸ்க்கு கொடுக்கறதுக்கு தான் ப்ரையாரிட்டி கொடுக்குறாங்களே தவிர மக்களுக்கு ஒரு சின்ன துண்டு நிலம் மக்களுக்கு விவசாயத்திற்கு அவருடைய வாழ்வாதாரத்துக்கு உறுதி செய்யப்படலை. ஸோ என்ஆர்ஐஜிஏ மாதிரியான திட்டங்கள் நிறைய வெல்ஃபேர் ஸ்கீம்ஸ் எல்லாம் கொண்டு வர்றீங்க. அதை வந்து ஏன் உரிமையாக நீங்கள் மாற்ற மாட்டேங்கிறீங்க? பணம் கொடுத்தா போதுமா, ரேஷன் அரிசி கொடுத்தா போதுமா, அவரோட உரிமை எங்க அப்படிங்கிற கேள்வியை நமக்கு முன்னால் வச்சுருக்காங்க.